Hello and welcome to a brand spanking new flight simulator video. Right, today's video, before you see a light aircraft, and this particular light aircraft, the Cessna 152 Aerobat I believe it's called, just could be the most important aircraft in flight simulator. Now, you might think I've completely cracked, completely gone nuts. But hear me out. You've just bought your brand spanking new Microsoft Flight Simulator. Now you know that obviously it is a realistic rendition of flight simulation, but you don't really know what aircraft you want to fly. You know there's payware aircraft out there, some good payware aircraft, some bad payware aircraft. There's also some good freeware aircraft. But you're new to this. So you, like I say, have just bought your flight simulator. So you're just going to go straight into the first aircraft that you think you're going to be able to fly. And the first aircraft is always the most important aircraft, because this is the one that's either going to make you think, wow, I want to sink loads of hours, hundreds and hundreds of hours into flight simulator, or some people don't. And like I say, we go back to an aircraft that is simple, easy to fly, and quite good fun actually. So, I give you the Cessna 152 Aerobat. So, today, where are we? We are currently sat in front of one of the hangars, or to the side of one of the hangars, at RAF Scampton in Lincolnshire. This is a freeware, I believe, yes, freeware rendition of Scampton. It's actually really, really good. There's some questionable aircraft choices. For instance, I believe that's a Seahawk, is it, in grey? Or Black Hawk? I don't think they're ever based at RAF Scampton. And we have some aircraft sat over there as well, which I believe are Chinooks and another Black Hawk. So, yeah, it's nice to have aircraft here, but we're not interested in the AI aircraft. We're interested in this, the mighty Cessna 152. So what's today's flight going to be? Right, today's flight is going to be quite simple. It's going to be a takeoff from, I'm just looking at my charts, runway 05, which is all the way over there behind the windsock, and we're going to be taking off, heading off in this direction, out. Like I say, we're going to turn back, and we're going to use some VFR navigation, rough VFR navigation, because we're going to be using the A15, which runs behind the base here, and we're going to be heading over to Lincoln, which is not too far away, only a few miles away, and we're going to fly over Lincoln, we're going to fly over the cathedral, and hopefully we're going to be heading back here to Scampton to land again on runway 05, and yeah, so it's going to be a nice little flight, like I say, in a apparently simple aircraft. So let's get us started. Hello and welcome aboard the Cessna 152 Aerobat. Right, going to keep this nice and simple. We shall be, like I said in the start of the video, we will be dispersing out to runway 05, which is somewhere over here, and we shall be taking off and heading off towards Lincoln. So, this is, like I say, the Cessna, or one of the Cessnas that comes with Flight Simulator, so it is good. It is not obviously payware brilliant. There are obviously different versions of a Cessna that are better and more clickable parts of the aircraft, but it's good enough for our purposes. So let's just set some controls. So mixture works, throttle works, so we're just going to crack that a little bit. Flight controls work. Rudder works. And we're just going to check some of the flight controls, or cockpit. One of the limitations of this aircraft is we can't actually open the window here, because normally you'll be able to unlatch this, and you would reach out to the ground crew and to make sure that obviously they know you're about to start. So let's first of all get the battery alternator on. Beacon lights going on, navigation lights going on. Parking brake is set. Fuel pumpers come on. Mounts can go onto both. And this is the point where we would lean out and shout out, clear pot! And let's see if we can start this aircraft.
Cathay 2066, holding short on 08, and with request. Cathay 2066, I get back to you in a second.
And we have a good start. Turn on some of the parts here, just concentrating on some of the parts, making sure everything's correct. So like I say, we've done our control check. We're going to set our altimeter to the local altitude. So we'll zero that.
Yeah, the acceleration here.
And we're going to check our flaps. So we've got 3 sets of positions. We'll set them up to the first position for takeoff. Going to bring the mixture back a little bit, lean it out. Put our taxi light on, and we are clear on the left, clear on the right. Wheelbase coming off, and let's roll.
Charlie, your number 4.
Always do a little brake check, just check the brakes work, and they're all fine. Lovely day for a flight. Clear skies. Should be good for a VFR flight. Or my version of a VFR flight. And as I said at the introduction, we do have some AI aircraft parked here. A couple of Chinooks by the look of it. And another Black Hawk. Not quite realistic. Trying to set my track IR to look a little bit better. It's quite a long taxi out to the runway. Obviously Scampton was a World War II bomber base, Lancasters and other bombers. Also Vulcans were based here as well, so we've definitely got a very long runway. More longer than we actually need for a Cessna. GA aircraft sat over here. Can't quite see what it is, but goes along with our Cessna. So we've got to hold short here. And we do our run up checks. So Parking brake going on. So, checks, we're going to go on to the right mag. And there is a drop. Going back to both mags. Going on to the left mag. Again, there's a drop. Going back to both mags. Mixture's going on to full. And that will be the run-up check, a very simplified run-up check. So, last minute check of the controls. And we're good to go. So, parking brakes off. And let's roll out to the runway. Checking we're clear on the left. Straighten up as best we can. So mixture's set. Everything's checked. Plenty of space down the runway. Let's go. Flaps are coming up. Visual check. We're just going to start trimming ourselves out. Start our turn to the right, heading out for our VFR flight over the Lincoln. And if my navigation is correct, that should be the A-15 underneath our right wing. Cessna 152 Aerobat. It's a lovely little aircraft, and like I say, probably one of the first aircraft you're going to learn to fly in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Got the A-15 underneath our left wing now, and as you can see up ahead, the 11 o'clock position, we have the cathedral, which is going to be our place we're going, location we're going to be flying to. So I'm going to shut up a bit and let left-hand side of the aircraft. And here it is. A fairly accurate rendition of Lincoln. Just see in the distance there is RAF Waddington. We won't be flying over there because that's an active airfield, but maybe in a future flight we'll be taking off and doing a little flight around Waddington. So we're turning over and we're going to go for the pass over Cathedral again. Also got alongside the cathedral, I believe that's a castle. I could be wrong, but I believe it's a castle. Or Flight Simulator's version of the castle. Not too sure there's many buildings inside the actual castle walls, but not too bad. Head back towards Scampton. I'm going to do a couple of laps around Scampton and just show you what a Cessna 152 is actually like. I believe underneath our right wing now is the A46, which would lead to the A15, which is the road we flew down after departing Scampton. Keeping an eye on the RPM, all in the green. T's and P's are all in the green, acceptable. land on this approach. We're just going to show off a little bit of Scampton. Obviously, like I say, this is a freeware addition to the scenery. Aircraft stands down there. Some of the housing. And there's the main hangars. All four of them. Used to house Lancasters, Vulcans, and I believe in the 90s Scampton was a training base, so Jet Provis, Chipmunks, Bulldogs, Tucanos. So, let's see if we can bring the Cessna into land. So we're going to go into a left pattern approach. Landing lights coming on. Just keeping an eye on the heading for the runway. Trying to give ourselves a nice wide approach. Obviously, the wider you are from the runway, the more time you have to correct any issues. A very long runway, so we're not going to have to worry about going to full flap or landing early on the runway due to the lack of space. So fingers crossed, should be a nice landing. So flaps going down to first stage. 80 knots, 600 feet. Runway in sight. Clear on the right, clear on the left. Slipping on to finals. Flaps coming down to the next setting, which will be mid. Trying to hold around 60 knots. Last minute checks on instrumentation. Everything's good. Not a bad landing. Like I say, plenty of space here at Scampton even. So we're going to start heading towards the right hand side of the runway for the taxiway that's approaching. Landing lights off, taxi lights are on, flaps coming up. Flaps check. Up. Mixture, we don't need a full mixture now.
Delta 47, the wind 130 degrees, 8 knots, coming to 40 to takeoff. Good takeoff, 24, Delta 47, good day. Can I provide X-ray caution possible, mate? 67, no, heavy average, about 2 minutes ago now, wind 130 degrees, 10 knots, coming to 4 good takeoff. Go to work this takeoff, can I do 5 X-ray?
Creaks and groans from a very old aircraft.
Delta 135. Good morning, Delta 135, line away, coming to 4. Line
on. Fuel pump is off. Taxi lights are off.
Delta 135, wind is 137 degrees at 12 knots, coming 24 in pit takeoff.
Wait, 24, clear to go, Delta 135.
Avionics, alternator, batteries, all off.